Chi-Chi didn't start in Lekki Phase 1. She started in a modest two-bedroom flat in Sapele, Delta State. Her real name was plain old Chiamaka, and her parents were diligent, middle-class civil servants. She was a bright girl, but her ambition was not measured in GPA. It was measured in glossy magazines and Nollywood blockbusters. She saw a Lagos where women wore designer labels, drove Range Rovers, and drank champagne on private yachts. A life impossibly distant, yet tantalizingly close in her imagination. In 2018, armed with a second-class lower degree in sociology and an unshakable belief in her own destiny, she moved to Lagos. Her first landing spot was a cramped Face Me I Face You apartment in Surulere, shared with 4 other hustlers. But Chiamaka knew Surulere was a layover, not a destination. Chiamaka understood the new Lagos currency: visibility. She immediately rebranded. Chiamaka became Chi-Chi. Her Instagram handle, once at Simply Chiamaka, was upgraded to at the Chi-Chi Factor. The transformation began methodically. She bought a handful of high-quality, authentic designer accessories, a single Gucci belt, 1 pair of Christian Louboutin shoes, and a classic Chanel wallet. The rest of her wardrobe was procured from high-end thrift stores, Okrika, labeled and tagged to look new, or cheap knockoffs. The trick? Never wear the full outfit in one picture. A close-up of the Louboutin heel on a marble floor. The Gucci belt cinching a generic dress. She became a master trespasser. She would order a single drink at a 5-star hotel bar, snap 50 photos in the lobby, the restroom, and by the pool. She'd pose next to strangers' luxury cars in mall parking lots. Her feed showed her sipping expensive wine, actually cheap South African red poured into a fancy glass, in locations that suggested old money and Lekki luxury. She called herself a brand consultant and lifestyle curator. In reality, she was a small-time affiliate marketer and sometimes did low-paying social media management for a few struggling businesses. But online, her meetings were always in high-rise offices, complete with filtered photos of a MacBook and a very expensive-looking planner. Within 2 years, at the Chi-Chi Factor had amassed 150,000 followers. Her life was a montage of bottle service, weekend getaways, and luxury endorsements. The reality was far more precarious. Chi-Chi didn't own a car. The sleek Mercedes she often posed with belonged to her friend's distant cousin, a car dealer, who let her use it for photo shoots for a small fee. She primarily used Uber Premium, Black, ensuring her arrival and departure were always in style, even if the trip bankrupted her weekly budget. She survived on guest list privilege. She knew the promoters, the bouncers, and the PR executives. Her currency was her face. She was the perfect, stylish backdrop that made the venue look exclusive. She'd arrive late, snap photos, order one sponsored drink, and leave before anyone realized she hadn't paid for anything. The gorgeous, minimalist apartment she showcased on her Instagram stories was a short-let Airbnb she booked for 1 night a month just for content creation. Her actual residence was a relatively nice, but utterly unglamorous 1-bedroom flat in Gbagada, which she strictly kept off-camera. She told people she was between deals and staying with a family friend in Ikoyi. The biggest source of her wealth was a rotation of uncles, older, wealthy, married men who liked the idea of a beautiful, digitally famous arm candy. One such man, a contractor named Mr. Biodun, provided her with the infamous monthly allowance that paid for her rent, her Uber bill, and the occasional authentic designer bag. This was her deepest secret. On Instagram, she credited her new acquisitions to her private clients and God's favor. When friends asked, she'd vaguely allude to a successful cryptocurrency investment or a lucrative contract she had landed. The constant need to please and maintain the illusion for these benefactors was exhausting. Every text had to be answered. Every request had to be considered. Her emotional energy was entirely spent on damage control and projection. As her fame grew, so did the scrutiny. A popular Instagossip blog, at Lagos Tea Spice, began to post blind items about a certain high-flyer who uses prop cars and rents her Ikoyi apartment. The comments section became a breeding ground for suspicion. People started noticing inconsistencies. Why did she only post pictures of her car's interior and dashboard and never the license plate? Why was her office always empty, with only her in it? Why was her private vacation home in Dubai always shot from the same balcony angle? The effort to maintain the illusion was financially ruinous. Chi had to constantly buy new, high-quality replicas to stay relevant. She paid exorbitant fees for content creators to take her photos. She was constantly paying off friends to keep their mouths shut. She was cash poor, asset poor, and debt rich. In early 2024, the situation hit a critical point. The friend who owned the car lot finally sold the Mercedes, leaving Chi without her primary photo prop. Her biggest benefactor, Mr. Biodun, had a health scare and his wife found out about Chi, cutting off her allowance. Chi's rent in Bogota was 3 months overdue. She was surviving on credit card debt and taking out high-interest loans to pay for basic necessities, all while posting videos of her luxury spa days. The final, public humiliation came at a major society wedding. Chi, dressed in a spectacular borrowed gown and a carefully curated asoabi, showed up ready to be the star. As she stepped out of her Uber, an obvious Uber X, not black, that she tried to hide from the paparazzi, she was confronted by a young, irate woman. The woman pointed at Chi's brand new, limited edition Christian Dior saddlebag. "Thief, that is my bag." It turned out Chi had purchased the bag from a reputable, high-end Instagram vendor who specialized in pre-owned luxury. The bag had been reported stolen months earlier by the woman, who was the vendor's former client. The scene erupted. Security got involved. The whole ugly incident was filmed and uploaded to at Lagos T-Spice within minutes. The footage of the distraught, sobbing Chi being escorted away, her designer facade shattered, went viral. People recognized the Bogota address in her background from an accidental geotag years ago. Her brand consultant title became a punchline. The Chi factor was revealed to be the fictional factor. For months, at the Chi factor went silent. The account vanished. Chi had gone back to Sapil for the first time in 5 years, humiliated and broke. But in the quiet of her hometown, something shifted. She got a real job, a decent, honest one in a local firm. She started a new Instagram account at Chiamaka_the Rebuilder with 0 followers. Her first post was just a simple, unedited selfie. Her caption read, "I am Chiamaka. I used to be Chi. I lived a life that was beautiful, but it wasn't mine. I wanted the spotlight so bad. I forgot how to turn on the lights in my own house. I'm starting over. No props. No filter. No lie. This is my actual life. I don't know if this is the end of the story, but it is the beginning of the truth." It took a long time, but a few of her old followers, the genuine ones who admired her hustle, not her fake lifestyle, found her. They started supporting the real Chiamaka, the one who was building a life, not just photographing one. The tale of the fake Lagos big girl served as a powerful cautionary legend, a reminder that in the gleaming, aspirational city of Lagos, the most dangerous fraud is the one you play on yourself.